starting on our back in Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined butterfly. So lying down with the soles of the feet together, knees dropping down, and just bring your hands onto your low belly for now. And close the eyes gently, start to bring your awareness to your breathing now. So the knees are slowly falling outward, dropping down towards the ground. So we're going to be working on our hips quite a bit today, so let's just start this sort of gentle opening in the hips. And we're going to come into Ganesh Mudra. So you're going to just clasp your hands. So the left hand underneath, the right hand on top, and just curl the fingers towards each other. And just hold on to, so the right fingers are curling under the left fingers and you're pulling in both directions above the heart center. So this mudra it resembles courage and strength. So we're going to bring that in to the practice now and breathing into that. So pulling the hands against each other. And then taking the hands still clasped, taking them above your head. And then taking your elbows over to the right side and just hooking your left elbow around your head. And gently pulling down towards the right. So hopefully you can feel a stretch in the left side of the body. And then lifting up back to center, take the arms above the head again, the elbows are bent, and then take the left bent elbow over towards the left side and hook the side of your head with the right elbow. So getting a sense of this action in the arms, which comes into the mermaid pose sometimes. So just getting a sense of what this is. And then inhaling back to center. And then taking the arms back and resting the hands still clasped over your heart center. Taking a deep breath in. And exhaling, releasing the hands. And then take the right leg in towards you, leave the left leg where it is and come into a half happy baby. So your right leg is in happy baby, so you want to clasp the outside of the right foot or the ankle if that's more accessible. Make sure the back of the neck is long. And then just gently pull on that right foot. So the foot is facing the ceiling and you're opening out into that hip. And you can gently move side to side if that feels good. For a few breaths, make sure you're breathing into any sensations you're feeling and don't force anything at this stage. Just keep it gentle. And then releasing the right leg back to the ground. Back into Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, and gently rocking the hips from side to side. So the knees come, side of the knee comes to the floor, and you're just gently rocking your hips from right to left. And then come gently back into center. And then hold on to the outside of the left foot or your ankle. And then pull that knee in towards your armpit, your shoulder, opening out the left side. And your right foot is still in butterfly pose. So just gently rocking from side to side. And again, don't force anything. Just be gentle and allow the opening to happen. And then bringing the foot back to Supta Baddha Konasana, back the soles of the feet together. And then taking the soles of the feet to the floor in front of your hips, so feet are hip width apart. And we're going to take the right foot on the outside of the left knee, so into a figure four. And gently push out with that, on that right knee, push gently with your right hand. Again, be mindful, be gentle, just allow an opening in that hip. And then slowly lift your left foot off the floor, so feet are still in figure four, and bring the knees towards you, the legs towards you, your right foot is flexed. And without using your arms, so just using the strength in your legs to bring the legs towards you in this figure four pigeon shape. And you can move again in this pose, you can move forwards and back slightly, just lubricating that hip joint on the right side. And take a deep breath in. And then exhale and bring your right knee, cross your right knee on top of your left knee. Take the arms wide into a T shape. And then exhale over the knees over to the left side into a twist. Coming into a supine twist and allowing the shoulders to settle towards the floor and looking over to the right side. So again, deep breaths, allowing twist in the spine, and then bringing the knees back up to center. And keep the legs in this cross position and then reach for your feet, your ankles, or the outside of your feet. And then bring the feet wide. So you're in a cow face pose. And gently pull the feet out to the sides, feeling a stretch in your outer hip now again. And noticing that there's no tension in your neck. The back of the neck is long. And then releasing the feet and bringing the feet on the floor again, coming into figure four, now on the left side. So your left foot comes onto the right knee and gently push away on that left knee. As again, you can gently rock side to side if you like. Just enjoying the sensation in these areas that we're opening up, and remembering your breath, the awareness of the breath, the awareness of every movement as you bring the right knee towards your chest, and then without using your arms, just bring the legs towards you, and you can activate that left foot to protect your left knee. And notice how the stretch comes into your hip as you bring the right knee towards your face. And then again, crossing the left knee on top of the right like you're in a bar stool, taking the arms wide and coming into a twist so the knees come over towards the right, and as they settle towards the floor, bring that left shoulder down and bring the gaze over to the left. Deep breaths, inhaling and exhaling as you allow the spine to open up and to come into this twisted position. And then be gentle. Gentle and mindful as you work deeper into the hips. And then releasing the hands and the feet and taking the feet up towards the ceiling, straightening the legs, and bring the hands onto your mat facing down beside you. And we're going to come into a half halasana, so half plow pose. So lifting the hips, press the hands into the floor, lift the hips, bring the feet over, half over the head, and then roll the hips back onto the floor and roll all the way up to seated. Bring the feet to the floor and then fold forward over the legs. So into a Paschimottanasana, forward fold. Inhaling, come up. We'll do that 2 more times. So roll onto your spine again. Bring the spine onto the floor, lift the legs. Bring your legs over your head, your hips off the floor, so the hips come towards you. And then roll the spine down. Bring the legs down to the floor, lift up into a seated pose, and fold forward over your legs again. And one more time, releasing back onto the floor, the spine rolls down, the head hits the floor, the legs lift, and come over your head into your half plow. And then this time, as you roll up, you're going to cross the legs and come into seated at the front of your mat. And then roll over onto hands and knees into our tabletop position. So the fingers are nicely spread. And your wrists are under your shoulders, your knees are under your hips. Inhaling for a cow, dropping the belly, and exhaling, rounding the spine. Inhaling again, looking forward, the chest comes through, and pulling the belly in as you round the spine. And again, one more time, inhaling and rounding the spine and dropping the head. Coming into your tabletop again and taking the hands forward into a puppy dog pose. So the hands are quite wide, we're opening up the shoulders. So we need quite open shoulders here. And dropping the head towards the floor, the forehead might rest on the floor. And just observing that opening in the shoulders, the arms are nice and straight, and press into those palms. Taking a breath in and exhaling. And then leaving the left hand on the floor, we're going to thread the right arm through and bring the right side of the head to the floor. So we're in a twist here, in our puppy dog. And breathing there. And then extending the right arm forward and twisting over to the other side. So threading the needle in your puppy dog, bringing your left shoulder to the floor now. Extending the right arm. Taking a deep breath. Exhaling. And coming back into your puppy dog, back into your cat-cow position, into your tabletop position. Extending the right arm forward and the left leg back. So flexing the left foot, stretching forward, lifting and lengthening here. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, straighten. Elbow to knee. Inhale, straighten. Elbow to knee. Straightening out again and reaching back for that left foot with your right hand. Taking the inside of the foot and coming into a back bend, looking forward. And opening up the spine here for a breath or two. And then releasing the hands to the floor, taking it to the other side again. So left hand comes forward, right leg straight and back. Length and height. So we're lifting and lengthening, but we're using our back muscles to hold us here. And inhaling and exhaling, elbow to knee, using your belly. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale as you round the spine. Lengthen, inhale. Rounding the spine. And then straightening out through the left hand, the right leg, and reaching for that back leg with your left hand. Arching the spine, looking forward, and pulling on that foot with your hand, on the hand with your foot. And then releasing the hand to the floor. Coming into a modified side plank now. So we're going to take the right foot in line with the left knee and the left hand. Lift your right arm up. And extend the right arm over your ear and lift the right leg up. And again, elbow to knee. Extend. Elbow to knee. Extend. One more elbow to knee. Extend again, and again reach for that back foot. And open the spine. So coming into your back bend. Breathing in, and then as you release that back foot, bring it forward into a lizard lunge. So you're bringing it in line with your front hand, your right hand, and settle into a lizard pose here. So you can bring the left knee back a bit, take the right foot out at an angle, 45-degree angle, and in your lizard, really stretching out that left hip, and maybe rocking from one side to the other. Enjoying the lizard. And then as you stay in your lizard, lifting the right arm up and to making a circle, bringing it towards your back leg. And then as you bring it forward straight in the front leg, stretch your front leg forward. So half Hanuman, half splits. And then inhale again, circle with the arms back to the back leg. And again, straightening the front leg. One more time, taking the arm back, reaching for the back leg. And one more time, half Hanuman, half split. And then coming back into your tabletop position, we're going to take it to the other side now in our modified side plank. So right side down, left arm up, extending that left arm, that left leg, and then elbow to knee. Extending, elbow to knee, extending, elbow to knee, and then reaching for that back foot, finding your back bend here, breathing into your thoracic spine, opening the chest, and then release the left foot, bring it forward for your lizard. So again, the hands on the inside, you can shift that knee back, that right knee back to get more of a stretch, and take the feet out slightly, rocking a little bit from side to side here, really getting into those hips. And then taking our arm circle again, so lifting, inhaling, lifting the left arm, taking it back, exhaling, straighten the front leg. Again, bending the front leg, take the arm back, so moving with your breath. And exhaling, folding forward over the straight leg. And one more time. Straighten the front leg. And then come back into your cat-cow and into a child's pose. So extended child's pose. The arms are in front. Your fingers are nicely spread on the floor. Extend the arms as far as you can. Take a nice deep breath into your back body. And then inhale, coming up onto your knees. Come all the way forward with the hips. Into an up dog with the knees on the floor. The chest comes through. And then tucking the toes. Downward facing dog. And then just stay in the downward facing dog for a breath or two. You can pedal the feet out if that feels good. We've already stretched the hamstrings a little bit, so finding downward facing dog, finding stillness in your down dog now. Inhaling, the right leg lifts up into the sky, and then you open that top hip and bend the top knee. Inhale, straighten the top leg, square the hips, and bring the front leg into a pigeon pose. So your right knee behind your right hand. And you can shift that back leg back a little. And then find your pigeon. So your right foot is going to be in front of your left hip. And then we're going to bring the left elbow down to the floor and hold onto the right knee with your left hand. And then take the right fingers to the side and twist here in your pigeon. Just bring it into a twist and look upward, bringing the chest towards the ceiling. And then coming back to center, your hands come beside you, lifting up, and coming into three-legged dog. So tuck the back toes, lift your right leg up, downward facing dog. The knees come to the floor, inhale, look forward, exhale, round the spine back into child's pose. So going into the other side. Inhale, come all the way forward with the hips, upward dog with the knees down. Downward facing dog, tuck the toes, the hips come up towards the ceiling. Inhale, the left leg rises, open the top hip, bend the top knee. And then exhale, square the hips and come into pigeon on the left. So shuffling a little bit to find something that feels comfortable for you in your pigeon pose, and shifting a little side to side. And then bringing the right elbow to the floor and holding onto the left knee with your right hand, taking your left fingers to the side and coming into a twist here. You can even take the left hand behind you and bind if you like. Just experiencing twist in the spine in this pigeon pose. Breathing and noticing. And then lifting back up onto your hands. Tuck the back toes. Three-legged dog, the left leg lifts. And then drop the left leg to the floor, downward facing dog. And walk to the front of the mat. The feet are hip width apart. Inhale for halfway lift, straightening the spine. And exhale, folding over the legs. And hold on to your elbows, rocking side to side as the upper body flops down towards the floor. You can have a slight bend in your legs or move towards straightening the legs. Allow the head and the upper body to be heavy. And breathe there. And then keeping the legs hip width apart, release the hands. Bend the knees and come into a chair, lifting the arms up, chair pose with the arms above your head and the feet wide. And then take your right leg and bring your right leg on top of the left knee into a figure four and bring your hands in front of your heart center into prayer position. So flexing that right foot, bending that left knee and keeping the spine straight, taking the knee out to the side, breathing, and then bring the right foot off that left knee and onto the floor and back into a chair. And then again, the hands come to prayer and you're back into a figure four with the left leg this time on top of the right knee. So try to keep a straight spine and maybe your gaze at an unmoving point on the floor. And then release that figure four and then lift all the way up to standing, the arms above the head. Bring the hands through center, back to your prayer. You can keep the feet hip width apart, closing the eyes for a moment. And breathing here. So noticing the feet nice and stable, nice and strong into the floor. Your kneecaps can pull up, your legs are strong, thighs are engaged. And we're going to come into our flow now. So you can bring the feet slightly closer together. They can, the toes can touch, or you can keep them the feet slightly apart. And inhale the hands up towards the ceiling. And then bring your right knee in towards your chest. And then taking the right foot behind you, take the right hand down and grab the inside of your right foot. So the left hand is still up. And then come into a dancer's pose. So you're leaning forward, you don't have to go very far, but you're pulling with that hand and that foot in your dancer. And then lift up to upright position, bring the knees in line. Keep the left hand up, and then bring the left hand behind your back. And then reach for your left hand with your right hand into cow face arms. So if you can't reach the hands together, hold on to your t-shirt or hold on to something. And then step that right leg back into a lunge. So you're in cow face arms and a high lunge. So reaching up with that left elbow, straight back leg. And then releasing the back foot to the floor, straighten the legs, and fold forward still with your arms interlaced. With a straight spine, fold over that left leg. So your body's parallel to the floor. Breathing there. Take one more breath. And then release the arms, take the left arm to the ankle or the shin and open into triangle pose. The right arm goes towards the ceiling. Breathing in your triangle. Release the right hand to the floor, bend the left knee, come into a lunge, lift the left arm up for a twist. And then the left arm comes to the floor, three-legged dog. Open your left hip in your three-legged dog. And then straighten the hips and bring the left leg forward for a lizard pose again. So the right knee hits the floor. And then take your left arm back and reach for your left foot, for your right foot, sorry. And you're twisting here in your twisted lunge, pulling that right foot towards you. And then releasing that right leg, hands come to the floor again. And stepping to the front of the mat, feet come together, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, forward fold, bend the knees, take the arms wide and up to standing, and exhale, hands through center, Tadasana. Inhaling, the arms go up again, and we're bending the left knee this time up towards the chest, and then taking the left arm down, the left foot back, catching your left foot for dancer's pose. So we're pivoting forward in our dancer, balancing on that right leg, lifting up to standing again, keep the left leg bent, take the right arm behind your back and reach for your right fingertips with your left hand. Coming into warrior three with this bind in your hands and stepping back to a high lunge. Lifting the chest, the right elbow lifting towards the ceiling and a bend in that front leg. Take the left heel to the floor and straighten both legs. And fold forward as much as you want to go, as far as you want to go over that right leg. Breathing through all these sensations. And then release into a twist, a triangle, over the right leg. Lift the left arm up. Breathe in. And release the left arm to the floor, bend the right knee, come into a twist. Right arm lifts. And then come back into three-legged dog, lifting the right leg, bending the top knee, opening that hip, squaring the hips and coming into your lizard. Right leg comes forward, release the left knee to the floor, and then reaching back for the left leg with your right arm. So we're twisting, we're opening towards the back of the mat. And you can come onto the side of that right foot if you want. You can open that knee out to the side. And then bringing the right hand back and stepping forward to the front of the mat. So you bring the right foot in the center, step forward and fold. Halfway lift, inhale, folding forward over the legs, bending the knees, take the arms wide and up, and exhaling, strong legs, back to your strong Tadasana. So it feels nice in my body right now to have really strong thighs, muscles, and pulling up on my kneecaps. Feeling very strong in my mountain pose now. I'm preparing to go into the other side, the right side this time, with a few changes. So inhaling, the arms above the head, look up. And exhale, the right knee comes up towards your chest, bend the right knee, and again take dancer's pose on the right side. So hold the back foot with your right arm, and pivot forward, maybe going a little deeper this time. Inhaling up in your dancer, keep the right leg bent, take the left hand behind you, grab hold of your left hand with your right behind your back, and come into warrior three. Stepping back into your high lunge. So strong back leg, straight back leg. Bringing your back foot to the floor, straightening both your legs, folding forward in your pyramid pose over the left leg. And then release the hands, come into your triangle on the left leg, right arm comes towards the sky, and then look forward and coming into a half moon on the left side. So step the back foot back slightly, forward slightly, take the left hand to the floor, slightly to the side of your left foot, come into your half moon, balance on the left leg, and then if you can catch the balance, if you feel confident enough, you can catch hold of the back foot and come into a slight back bend in this pose, if that feels good. Releasing that right leg, come back into your triangle pose, into your high lunge, bending the left leg. Inhale your twist. Hands to the floor, three-legged dog, lifting the left leg up, opening the top hip, and this time if you want to flip over, then bring the left foot to the floor and lift the hips towards the ceiling. And then unflipping your dog, left leg rises, and this time we're going to bring our left knee forward for a pigeon pose. So coming into our pigeon, find something that feels comfortable. So take a moment to adjust yourself so your hips are nicely squared towards the front. And then bend the right leg. And we're going to turn towards the right side and grab hold of that right leg with your right hand. And you can stay here, or you can try the mermaid variation and try to hook your right foot with that right elbow on this side. And if you want, you can also use a block under that left hip. If that brings a bit of stability, you can also do that. And then if this is enough, stay here and breathe. Or you can try lift that left arm up and find your mermaid pose. But please breathe into it, please be careful. And I mean, just play with it, we're just having fun. It's not a must. You can leave the left arm down, just play with this twist and with this action here. And then releasing the leg and coming to face forward with the hips. And you can try the king pigeon if you want with a strap. If you have a strap, you can try and hook. Sure. You can try and hook the back foot with your strap. And the arms go overhead. And you're looking up. It helps, actually, really helps to have that block under my left hip. Otherwise I might not be able to stay here. And then release the strap, any other props you have, and just rest for a moment forward in your pigeon. Give yourself a moment to rest and breathe. And you can take child's pose if that left hip has had enough. And we're going to slowly ease ourselves up when you're ready. Back into downward facing dog. And maybe just walk it out. and walk it forward to the front of the mat. Halfway lift there. Forward fold. Coming up to standing, we have to do the other side. So bringing your hands through to your heart center. Getting ready to flow on the other side. So inhaling, lifting the arms above your head. And then bring your hands through center. No, we keep the arms up, sorry. Bring the left leg up and take the left arm back to find the back foot and then into our dancer's balance. So playing with your dancer's pose for a breath or two. And then coming back up straight, upright. Right hand comes behind your back, reaching for your right fingertips with your left. And then into your warrior three. Back into your high lunge, still with your cow face arms. The back left heel comes to the floor, straighten both legs and fold forward over the right leg. And breathing, releasing the hands, coming into your triangle pose over the right leg, looking up to the ceiling. A breath here. Bending the front leg, coming into our half moon balance on the right side. And then if you find the balance, maybe reaching for the back foot with the left hand. And then releasing back into your triangle. Bending the right knee, bring your left hand to the floor. Inhale, the right arm lifts for a twist. Right hand comes down, three-legged dog. Right leg lifts, open the top hip and flip your dog if you feel like it. Lifting the hips towards the ceiling. And then back into your three-legged dog. The right leg is high. And then we're coming into our pigeon with the right knee in front. So have your props handy. I'm going to have my block nearby. And we're going to twist over to the left side and try and find our mermaid. So holding on to the left leg with the left hand. Maybe hooking that foot. And you might find one side is different to the other. So I like to have the block underneath my right hip. And then maybe reaching up with the right arm and finding your Ganesh Mudra, clasping your hands and taking a breath or two, just exploring this pose. And it doesn't matter if you get into it or not, but when you've had a play, when you've had a bit of time in that pose, squaring the hips towards the front of the room or the mat, and then playing with your king pigeon. So take your kikoi, your strap, whatever you have, and we're lifting the arms above the head. So you can use your core here to hold you there. And look up towards the ceiling, but be gentle, move into it slowly, gently, with care and with awareness. And then, when you've had enough, release into your pigeon, the arms in front of you. And dropping the head, the forehead to the floor. Deep breaths. And then gently moving the hands back. And just taking a moment in child's pose. Just a normal child's pose, maybe with the arms behind us now, palms facing up. Taking a few breaths there. And then walking the hands forward. And coming back into downward facing dog. And walking the feet towards your hands. Come to the front of the mat. And then keep the hands on the floor. And just lifting the right leg up into standing splits. So we're lifting the right leg straight up behind us, dropping the head. And then bend both knees and bring the right knee behind the left knee into a squat. And then inhale, standing split. Exhale into a squat. Standing split, lift the right leg. And then dropping the right knee. And this time coming to seated. So with the left leg on the outside of your right knee. Inhale the right arm up. And then hug that left knee and twist over to the left side. Breathing, lengthening and twisting as you exhale. And then come to face the front and come into your cow face, your full cow face pose now. So both knees are stacked on top of each other. And if this is just not accessible for you, then just go where you feel comfortable. Trying to get both sit bones on the floor. The right arm goes up behind your back. And again, we're in this familiar pose with our shoulder, right shoulder opening up. Your right elbow reaching towards the ceiling. And you can fold forward here if you feel you like to explore this pose, or stay upright. Breathing into whichever variation of the pose you're in. Inhaling straight up, releasing the hands, and then taking that right leg behind you, straight behind you. Take the hands to the mat. Three-legged dog, the right leg lifts up into the sky. Downward facing dog, walk to the front of the mat again. Halfway lift. Forward fold, the fingertips to the floor, left leg lifts this time into the air for your standing split. Exhale, bend both knees, the left knee comes behind the right into a squat, and then straighten up again. Lift the left leg, and then squat, and straighten. Squat, and straighten. And then coming to sit with the left, so the left knee comes behind the right, and come and sit on that left hip. Your right knee is on the outside of the left knee. Left arm rises, inhale, twist over to the right side. Again, lengthening the spine and twisting with the breath, with awareness. And then slowly moving into our cow face pose on this side. So your knees are stacked again, right knee on top of left. And you can hold on to the outside of your feet for your cow face. Or take the left arm up, take it behind you and reach for that the left fingertips with your right. And either stay in this variation with a straight upright spine or fold forward, exploring the pose and observing where you feel the sensation and what you're feeling in the different parts of the body. Deep breaths. And then releasing your hands, lifting up. Taking the right leg back behind you. Press into your hands. Lift the left leg for three-legged dog. And then walk the feet forward and come onto your seat. Sitting on the floor and preparing to relax for a last few minutes. And we're going to have the block or your book close by. And coming back onto your back. Your feet in front of your hips, pressing into the floor. And then lift the hips. And then place your sacrum, your pelvis onto that block. And take a few breaths here in a supported bridge pose. Just noticing the pelvis heavy on the floor. And noticing the breath in your chest and in your belly. And then slowly lifting one leg at a time up towards the ceiling. And just allow the legs to be relaxed and heavy and soft. And allow the relaxation to settle in. And all the effort goes away from your legs and your hips and all the work that we've done. So giving your legs this gift of relaxation, all the blood flowing back down. So stimulating our parasympathetic nervous system now, allowing relaxation. And then gently releasing the legs back, removing the block from underneath you, and just coming into a final relaxation, final shavasana, making sure you're warm enough. Just allow the body to rest on the floor. And let everything settle. Allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm. And breathe there. Giving yourself these few moments to let that practice settle down, all those movements to settle. Integration of the practice in Shavasana. in your chest. And maybe allowing a little movement now. And allow maybe a stretch in both directions, taking the arms above the head. And then hugging the knees into the chest, rocking from side to side, massaging your back, coming over onto one side, using your arm as a pillow. Taking a moment and then gently pressing up back into a seated pose. To end the practice, just give yourself a minute or two with your eyes closed and your spine straight. Shoulders dropping down. So throughout the practice, we've cultivated this sense of inner awareness. We're just going to savor it for a moment or two and just enjoy this peaceful moment. Knowing that that inner awareness, that self that's deep inside you, is there always. And when we connect to that deep self, that is the purpose of our yoga practice. And then ending the practice with the palms together at the heart in gratitude for this fun practice and the chance to practice together. Namaste. Thank you so much.